It is May the 17th, 2019. And it's going to be very interesting watching this video 25 years from now in 2044 to really see how this whole transition of this new multicultural race is going to dominate America. Statistics shows in regards to by the Brooklyn Institute that by 2044, whites will become the largest minority population in the United States. Hispanics, African American, and Asians will be the majority, with a new race called multiculture. Back in 2002 or 2001, I was at a friend's house. His name is Mark Baisley, good friend of mine's. And there was a general there, and he expressed to me, and at that present time, my fiance, who's no longer with us, Cheryl Neely, that at West Point, that they're teaching in regards to strategy of to make sure that white Americans' bloodline can continue because they are not basically having babies at the fast rate of African Americans, Latinos, including Asians. So he expressed to us that, hey, we want you to marry someone that looks like our daughter, referring to me, and then looked over there at Cheryl and said, we want you to marry someone who looks like my son. He said, because we recognize that we will not be able to produce in regards to children at a fast rate because white Americans are not having babies. And so the strategy is how to basically change the culture so that it's no longer a taboo. So now you see in 2019, commercials, magazine ads that depicting various different white men in commercials with black babies and white grandparents with a multicultural type of child. Primarily they'll show a very light with curly hair young African American grandchild. So it's going to be very interesting to see what truly happens. I have been writing various different and trying to educate African American institutions such as the Urban League and Morehouse College when I applied there for their number 3 position at Morehouse College, to show them in regards to how it would be important to understand what is happening to position our race to be able to take advantage or empower our people. Because if you really look at statistics, African Americans who are born here in the United States, who do not have a direct link to any other country, keeps 100% of its disposable income here in the United States, as opposed to any other minority race. Between 30 to 50% of their disposable income goes back to their native land to support a family member, friends, or relatives, or even directly that country. So if you really look at your data and really look at who is truly patriotic to this country, you have to look at whose dollars are 100% staying in the United States. Even white Americans who have some form of relative in Ireland, England, Germany, Russia, Poland, anywhere outside the United States, portion of their disposable income also is returning back to their native country. So once again, the argument is proposed: who is truly a clear patriot of the United States? I say African Americans. But African Americans need to learn in regards to how to utilize that form of economic strength to its advantage. We failed to reinvest back into our urban communities. We failed to understand the power of education, not only K through 12, but higher education. We failed to understand in regards to that you have to invest into your community so that your dollars are turning over 7 times within that community before it leaves outside of the community. So you'll begin to hear a lot of various different series from me. I'm going to be taping myself starting now over the next 25 years, posting on YouTube the economic state of African Americans. This is James Sutherland. I am an economist. I have my degree in economics, and I have developed several different programs and projects here in the United States and also in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Stay tuned. You'll hear more from me.